to mush. Leo Speedwagon, drive the puck wide. A JD one-timer from the far side. The ice shakes, get out of your seat. Ozone draw, no, I can't be beat. They're the pride of Cloverdale, the Colts in blue. Skating fast, hitting hard, breaking through. Battles in the corner, busting across the line. Picking top corners, making saves so fine. Third period, no lead is safe. No fan falls all over the place. The T-Birds should just stay home. Scared to enter the Colts' destruction zone. Colts hunting ground in Cloverdale. Terrified opponents destined to fail. They're the pride of Cloverdale, the Colts in blue. Skating fast, hitting hard, breaking through. Battles in the corner, busting across the line. Picking top corners, making saves so fine.
A regular season full of ups and downs is now over for the Colts, and they are about to play their first playoff game here. Game 1 of a 4-point series against the Vancouver T-Birds A1 team. The first team to get 4 points in this series will win it and move on to the Final Four. Colts are only missing one player in this game. Lyndon Cameron remains injured. Otherwise, everyone's healthy. Sahaj gets the start. Let's head to the first period. So with this opening face-off, the playoffs are underway, and the first scoring opportunity we're going to have is by the Colts here, holding the puck in at the line. And eventually it's going to be Richard here who's going to prevent that puck from going out right at the blue line. He's going to push this over to Jackson Davis, who's in alone, puts it to the forehand, tries to get it up high on the Vancouver goaltender, but the save is made. Now it's Vancouver's turn, a dump-in puck behind the net. Sahaj sets it up for the D, and it gets turned over here. A little backhand pass out front. That player whips it towards the net, but it's off of Sahaj's toe and harmlessly out. Puck is still in the Colts zone. This shot's going to have a rebound that goes out through Nathan. Then he gets knocked down in front with probably a late hit there. That player gets knocked down by Mack in the corner, and then Nathan goes back at another Vancouver player along the wall, right in front of the referee. He's holding him up against the wall. And because the puck has long ago left to the other corner, the referee is going to deem that to be interference and send Nathan off for 2 minutes and send the Colts to the penalty kill. So here's Vancouver on the power play, working the puck around, throwing that hard through the crease. It bounces out to the point. They're going to move it over to the left point here, throw that puck on net, and it's deflected, and it's just over the crossbar, and then the Colts clear the puck down the ice and successfully kill off that penalty. Now they're on the forecheck down in the offensive zone. Here's Leo picking up the puck in the corner, has his back to the play, and this player's going to come right in and hit him into the wall. A clear and obvious penalty there. It's going to be 2 minutes to number 5 for boarding, and the Colts are going to get their first power play opportunity of this game. So on the power play, here's Nathan with the hold at the line. He's going to whip that towards the net, and Noah tips it down, but it goes wide to the left. And the puck gets tipped over to the right, and Seth is coming in from the right flank, and he sweeps it towards the net. But the Vancouver goalie covers it up, and so that penalty is killed. So here's the Vancouver player out of the box, coming down the right side. Wes reads it well and gets over there with an old school 80s style hip check along the wall. That play is going to continue back down towards the Vancouver end, and then a giveaway by the Vancouver defender right to Jackson Davis. In on the backhand, he scoops it up over the crossbar and then slides into the net, knocking it off its moorings. Back in the Colts zone, Bryson retrieving the puck behind the net, does a nice job of boxing that player out and getting possession for the Colts. Then here's a pass from Leo up the middle to Seth, and watch out, a player coming from a blind side there. And honestly, that player did well to hold up. He could have really probably injured Seth there if he'd have followed through with a full-scale hit, but it doesn't save him from getting a charging penalty from the referee. Colts are unable to capitalize on that power play, so we're back to 5-on-5. And here's Vancouver throwing a puck towards the net. It's tipped there. Sahaj has it. Then the player's going to come together in front of the net, and Arjun's going to take a punch from the front, then a tackle from the back, and I don't really see him ever get his hands up involved in any of that. Maybe he did there on the ground, but coming out of that somehow, Arjun is going to get a penalty. So are the Vancouver players. Vancouver's going to get 2 minutes for roughing, and then for number 18, and then their other player is going to get 4 minutes for head contact. Arjun also going to get 4 minutes for head contact, which seemed as undeserving as that Vancouver charging penalty was. But either way, the Colts are going to get a 2-minute power play here to start off the second period. Here come the Colts with their 3-wide breakout they like to use on the power play. Seth picks it up on the right side, slips by the player trying to cut him off on the wall, and then picks a nice pass across to Leo, but he can't quite get full control of that, and it kind of fans on it wide of the net to the left. Power play does continue. Seth has the puck behind the net, and he's going to neatly walk out front with it, but he loses control of it. Noah gets it, though, and shovels it towards the net. The puck is saved, and then Seth is reaching in there for the rebound, and he puts a hook on that player, but it's actually going to be Noah who gets sent to the box. You can see the look of confusion on his face right here. He's wondering, why am I being sent to the box? That was Seth who put the hook in there, but Noah's going to get punished for it, and we've had some phantom calls in this game, and now a misidentification, so refs are looking to get up to playoff speed here in this game. Here's on the penalty kill. Tyler going to retrieve it along the left wall. And after he shoots it away, this player's going to come in from behind and hit him right in the numbers, head first into the wall. And that's going to get caught by the referee out at center. And a 2-minute head contact penalty from the Vancouver player sends the game to 4-on-4 action. Now with the Colts player out of the penalty box, they're going to be on the power play, dumping the puck in. And the Vancouver clearing attempt is going to hit a stanchion and pop right out to this player, who then shoots it down the ice, just getting it there for the breakaway, shorthanded in, going low blocker, and a nice save there from Sahaj to keep this game scoreless. So we're back to 5-on-5, but not for long, as the Colts are trying to clear the puck out of their zone. They're going to get tripped up at the point by the Vancouver player, and that's going to be 2 minutes for tripping and a power play once again for the Colts. So here they are on the face-off on the ensuing power play, and there's going to be Leo getting his stick into the arms of that Vancouver player on a puck battle, so that's going to negate the power play almost immediately and set us up for some 4-on-4 hockey after Leo's 2-minute hooking penalty. So lots of extra ice out there. We've got Noah coming down the left side. He holds up. He's battling off 3 different Vancouver players. The fourth one in the vicinity. He still has it. He's trying to get across, and it ends up on Seth's stick right in front. He turns and sweeps it towards the 5-hole of the Vancouver goalie, but he makes the stop. Still 4-on-4. Play along the right wall of the neutral zone. He gets bumped up to Seth, who comes in the right side. He's got a little bit of space, so he drags it towards the middle, takes a shot, high blocker, but it's punched away by the Vancouver goaltender. We're briefly back to 5-on-5 until Bryson's shot attempt from the point is partially blocked, and then he has to hold up the Vancouver player from getting in alone, clear cut on a 2-on-1, and there's a chance there that gets shoveled just past the left post, but the Colts eventually touch it, and Bryson is off to the penalty box. 2 minutes for holding. And this penalty and ensuing power play is going to afford this game its first goal here towards the end of the second period. Vancouver moving it around nicely around the outside before finding this player backdoor, who easily slides it past Sahaj. So some nice puck movement by the T-Birds and a power play goal, and it's now 1-0. Play is still in the Colts zone, and some nice forechecking here by Vancouver is going to disrupt the attempted breakout of the Colts, and this puck gets swept on net, rebound over to the left side, but Sahaj does well to come over and get tight up against that post and make the save. The net was knocked off there, so there has to be a face-off in the Colts zone, and that's going to result in Seth coming out here, chipping it past that pinching defender, turning this into a 2-on-1 that's actually maybe a 3-on-1. Seth does well just to put it over to Leo, who puts it up over the sprawling goaltender, and a nice 2-on-1 execution passing play there, and the Colts have tied this game back up at 1. Colts have some momentum now. They're going to pick up this puck that Vancouver dumps up the neutral zone. Leo gets it, puts it back to Nathan, who then puts it up to Jackson Mum, who tips it forward to Noah, and he's got that defender in trouble, goes around him to the backhand and up over the leg of the sprawling goaltender. And 2 quick goals here by the Colts have given them a lead in this game. You see as Noah comes in on this breakaway, Jackson Mumm does an excellent job of boxing out those two defenders so they can't get through and get a stick on Noah. T-Birds looking to get back in this one. This point man puts it back to the point to number 13 who walks in. Hard shot high there that Hodge fights off. And then the rebound is sitting there and that other Vancouver player who got in behind Orson can't quite get a hold of it. So here are the Colts now. Busting out of their own zone. Play gets disrupted at center. And as Arjun comes in to play the puck, he gets shoved from behind into the wall. And that's going to cause number 12 to be sent off. 2 minutes for boarding and another power play here for the Colts. The Colts' power play time will be brief, however, as this puck is going to end up going up the wall to Bryson. And as he shoots, we're going to move to the front of the net. There you see Jackson Mumm looking for the tip, and then it looks like he gives the goaltender a little slash when he has the puck covered in his stomach area. The Vancouver defender comes in, takes exception to that. There's some pushing and shoving, but ultimately the ref is only going to call one penalty. That's 2 minutes for cross-checking on Jackson Mumm. Looked like maybe more of a slash, if that's what he was calling on the goaltender there. If not, then I didn't see a penalty on the Vancouver player. But either way, Vancouver to the power play. Here they have that puck from behind the net, and it hits Sahaj, and it's laying there in the crease, and they're jamming away at it. But we're going to go to the third period. It's 2-1 Colts. Vancouver on the attack first. Going in behind the net with the puck. They throw it out front. That player gets it and shovels it towards the net on the backhand. But Sahaj does well to get a piece of it and send it off to the corner. Vancouver trying to put a shot through, ends up on this player's stick. One save and then another save with that right leg. And then the puck hops out front and there's an empty net that gets missed. And then another try on the right side of the net directed towards the end of the net. And that stays out as well. So Colts playing with fire but still have a 2-1 lead. 3-on-3 for the Colts. And Noah does an excellent job to create some space for Tyler there who rips it off the post. And then Seth has a chance at the rebound and he puts that wide on the left side before this point shot is gobbled up by the goaltender and gets a whistle. So now we have a face-off in the offensive zone for the Colts. The puck is going to end up back here on Leo's stick, and he tries to shoot it from the high slot, but he gets hauled down as he's about to release the puck. And so Vancouver off to the penalty box once again, this time 2 minutes for tripping. So here are the Colts looking to stretch this lead to a 2-goal lead here on the power play. Nathan has it at the point, whips that through, rebound pops out, and this time Leo's going to come in, and this time he is going to get the shot off. It's off the goaltender. It's laying loose in the crease, and somehow Vancouver finds a way to sweep that out, and not just out of the crease, all the way out of the zone. It's quickly on its way back in, though. Leo puts it over to Jackson Davis, who puts it over to Seth, who tries to kick it up to his forehand, but he loses it in behind him. Power play is still continuing, though. Colts with the puck in their own zone. Puck goes up into center, and here's that Vancouver player who dumps it in, and Mitchell comes in, and he had the back and the stop sign of that player the entire way, but he elects to still throw the hit, and so it's going to get called charging, and it's going to keep us briefly 4-on-4, but it's going to eventually turn here into a Vancouver power play. And the one goal they do have in this game is on the power play after they move the puck really nicely around the outside edge. They continue to do that here, but it's not going to be a cross-ice pass. It's going to be a pass from the left flank on the ringette line that somehow finds its way through to the back of the net. And a power play goal have tied this up for the T-Birds. It's 2-2 with about half of a period left to go in this one. And Vancouver is really taking control of this game late. Here they have the puck, throwing it out in front, and it gets swept over to that player who just whips it wide to the right, but Vancouver doggedly pursues the puck, and the point man keeps it in, delays, throws it back towards the net. It's laying loose there. Shot on net, one save, and a second save as Sahaj comes back, but Vancouver maintains possession, whips that towards the net, and it's blocked, and it's over on the left wall here. Now, as Richard comes into play this, he's not quite at the puck yet, and number 18 is going to come in with a high hit there before he'd even picked up the puck and knocking him down. And so despite all that offensive pressure, it's going to be Vancouver who's going to take a poor penalty there, 2 minutes for head contact, and they're going to give the Colts an opportunity to retake the lead. Here's the face-off to start the power play, and it almost converts right away as Jackson Davis is out front, and Seth just misses him with that pass. Leo keeps it in, puts it down to Seth, who's going to whip that on net. The rebound's there for Jackson Davis, who throws it towards the net, and then it's laying off to the side of the crease, just inside the post, and Seth sweeps it home. And that rebound goal in front of the net has given the Colts a lead in this game once again. Power play goal from Seth, and a 3-2 lead for the Colts. So time running out in this game. Vancouver has 6 attackers on the ice with the goalie pulled, looking to get this game retied. There's Nathan along the end boards in the battle for the puck. Then Noah comes in, and he tries to hold it briefly against the wall. Then he just shovels in behind the net. That's off to an area where there's just a couple of Vancouver players. So now they're working on knocks in the corner. You see Seth kind of back away for a second. That allows that Vancouver player to get the puck, throw it out front, and the player there is only briefly open just for a second, who gets it off quickly before Leo can check him, and it's up over Sahaj's shoulder. And this game is now tied at 3 with just 52.8 seconds left in the game. Vancouver can get one last chance here in the waning seconds of this game. Puck held in at the point, thrown towards the net. It's tipped, looks like once, and it bounces through to Sahaj, and he battles hard in front to get that covered up before the Vancouver player can get it. So now we're down to just a few seconds left in this game. Vancouver dumping it up the right side. You see Argent coming in there, getting in that player's way, and then he's going to come along and run into the back of that player's head as the clock expires. And that's going to get called there by the referee. 4 minutes for head contact while that player was down on the ice, but it doesn't matter because the game is over. No power play for Vancouver, and the teams have to settle for a 3-3 tie in game 1. So that means both teams earn 1 point in this game, and as this is a 4-point series, they now each need 3 points to win this series. So that means the game cannot end, the series cannot end in game 2. We'll have to go to at least game 3 in this series. Let's have a quick look at the stats from this game. Seth and Leo both with a goal and an assist. Noah with the other goal, and a nice outing in net there from Sahaj with 32 saves on 35 shots. So that's it for this game. We close off game 1 of the series. Game 2, moving off to Vancouver. They are the home team in this game. The game was just the following night, Tuesday night after the Monday night home game for the Colts, where this series picks up. And as we said, the series cannot end here tonight, but whoever wins this game will have a stranglehold on the series and will just need one additional point in the last 2 games to win the series. The Colts will be running with the exact same lineup as the previous game that they tied. The net will be manned by Sahaj, and the only player unavailable for selection here today is Linden, still out with his injury. So let's head to the first period. Start off in the Vancouver zone. Jackson Davis, after getting knocked down behind the net, he's going to eventually steal this puck along the wall. He's going to put it up towards the point to Knox, who throws it towards the net, and the goalie moves in the completely wrong direction. And lucky for him, that puck just sails over the top of the crease. Play continues. Seth coming down the speed on the right side, trying to get around, but that player is going to reach in and hook him as he's trying to throw the puck towards the front of the net. So a hooking penalty early in this game to Vancouver, and an early power play for the Colts. Noah's going to win the initial faceoff draw right back to Nathan, who throws it quickly towards the net. The rebound is sitting there as Seth comes in and just taps it with the backhand, and it slides its way through the Vancouver goaltender, and an early power play goal, and the Colts are rolling in this one. It's 1-0. Colts are working hard on the forecheck early in this game. Tyler in behind the net there is going to come around to him behind the net. He's going to quickly whip it out front here to Jackson Mum, who throws it on net down low, but the goalie kicks it out. So now the play's back down into the Colts zone, and this point man keeps it in, and then he's going to just dump the puck down into the corner here, and it's going to hit the Zamboni door and bounce right out to this Vancouver player, and everybody else on the ice is watching the other side of the arena, waiting to see the puck ring around the boards, but it doesn't, of course, because it has hit that door and bounced fortuitously out to the Vancouver player, and he puts it into the empty net. So very bad bounce there for the Colts, and then on the ensuing faceoff, gets dumped in again into that same corner, and it hits the door again and pops right out to a Vancouver player who puts it on net with the backhand, but this time Sahaj knows about it, and he's ready for it and makes a nice save. Puck now at center. Vancouver picking up with speed, coming in there, throwing that puck on net. Sahaj makes the save. So this is the first whistle after that last draw we saw at center, and Sahaj is going to come out and take exception to this door and see if he can do anything about having it spit pucks out to Vancouver players 2 plays in a row. The best way to avoid issues with that door in their own end is just play in the offensive zone. And so the Colts are going to do that. So they get back to that hard-working forecheck that had worked for them early in the game. Seth is going to pursue this puck behind the net, strip the defender of it, and give it right to Noah out front. And he quickly deposits it past the goaltender. And the Colts bounce back and regain their lead after some hard work on the forecheck. More play in the offensive zone by the Colts, and Mack keeps it in, shoveling it down to Libby, who comes towards the middle, throws it towards the net on the backhand, rebounds right there for Mitchell, puts it on net, and the rebound again, the second rebound, even better, out front to Jackson Anderson, who has a gaping net to throw the puck into, and the Colts now have a 2-goal lead in this game. Here's Knox at center with the puck, and he's going to give it to Arjun as he's under pressure there, and Arjun has to give it back, and Knox doesn't see this Vancouver player coming from the blind side and takes a big hit, but the Colts do get the puck down the ice. But now it's back in the Colts zone, but not for long. Quick pass out to Tyler. He just jets right through the two defenders, in alone on the breakaway, tries to go to the forehand, and that's wide off to the left of the post. It is kept in, however. Orson does have it, and he's going to whip that towards the net. And as the rebound comes out, there's a tripping penalty by Jackson Mumm right in front of the net on the Vancouver defender who is trying to retrieve the rebound. So now Vancouver on the power play. The goaltender bumps it up to the Vancouver defender who puts it up here on the right side. And this player is just going to throw it to this player who's in the corner who just wildly throws it in front. And Sahaj appears to maybe have been cheating off the post, thinking that was going to be a pass across and not a puck into his feet. And it takes a long time, but eventually the referee does figure out that it's in well after it's in the net, and everyone else on the ice seems to know it's in the net. But it takes some time, but ultimately it is a power play goal for Vancouver, and it's now 3-2. It's nearly tied right away, too, as this player in front pulls it to the backhand, but then shovels it wide of the net. Vancouver has the momentum, though, and they're going to continue to pressure. Colts having a few chances here to get it out of their own zone. Doesn't happen. Vancouver player takes it low and then puts it out to the point. And as this player whips it through, it gets tipped in front. It's off the post, laying there in the crease. It's laying loose, and eventually Jackson Anderson's going to pull it off the line and get it out of the zone. Now, ideally, that should have been high sticking for Vancouver, but I don't think they ever touched the puck after the high stick, so there's no opportunity to blow the whistle, but I don't think the referee was going to call that a high sticking. So if that had went in, that could have been a controversial goal. Play continues. Here's Vancouver again, and with another rush chance and another save from Sahaj, and then they're digging away at it as he has it covered. Vancouver on the attack again, getting in behind the defender. Knox comes over and does well to hold that player up. Then as he's searching for it in his feet, he's going to get his stick into the feet of the Vancouver defender. I'm not sure he really even knew what he was doing there or knew the player was there, but it doesn't matter. It's going to be a tripping penalty, and Vancouver is on the power play again. They're going to take the puck in behind the net, working it around the outside. Eventually it's going to end up there in the corner, and they're going to make a seam pass across this player who throws it on net, and then after he shoots it, he just cross-checks Tyler in the face and then picks up the rebound and shovels it home. So we'll see this on the replay, but that appears that should have been a high-sticking or cross-checking penalty before the goal goes in, because that's a clear shove across the chin with a two hands on your stick, and then he, because of that advantage he's created for himself, is able to score the tying goal. Tyler is going to eventually draw a head contact penalty here as he's clearing that puck out. A player comes down the wall and catches him. Hard to see there on the film. Didn't look nearly as worse as that one prior to that, but it is going to be a 2-minute head contact penalty for Vancouver, sending the Colts to the power play here in this 3-3 game. Nathan's going to lose that at center. The Vancouver player is going to chip it past down deep into the zone, and as Noah comes in there to play it, he gets hit, and then Nathan comes in late and gives the player a shove from behind. And so that's going to kill this power play off and eventually give Vancouver a short 5-on-4 power play. So here they are on that power play, puck coming out to the point, and as the other point player gets it and takes the shot, you see two Vancouver players all alone in front of the net. The puck's going to get tipped, but it's off the post and back out again. Power play is ongoing as the period winds down. Vancouver moving it around at the point, holding it there and eventually moving it over to the right side. And that player from the ringette line is just going to whip it towards the net. It's going to beat Sahaj on the blocker side. And a wild first period is going to come to a close with the T-Birds up 4-3 after being down 3-1 early in the period. Penalty parade is going to continue early in the second period here with another hit from behind. There have been a bunch of those here in this series. This time it's a Vancouver player taking out Leo along the wall. So that's 2 minutes for checking from behind, and along with that they're going to call a 10-minute game misconduct for the check from behind, maybe in an effort to curtail the amount of checking from behind that has been happening in the series. Colts power play goes to work. It's going to come out to Jackson Mumm in the high slot. He tries to sweep it towards the net. Doesn't work, but he maintains possession. Then he puts it down here to Tyler, who whips it on net, and the rebound is there for Richard, who corrals it on the backhand and slides it home past the goaltender. As the celebration gets moved away from the crease area, we have ourselves a tie game. It's 4-4. Won't stay tied for long, though. Offensive zone face-off by the Colts. Richard on the draw. Shovels it over to Arjun, who picks it up and just whips it towards the short side from a bad angle, but it's up off the goaltender's mask and inside the post. And the Colts are back on top in this seesaw battle. It's 5-4. Arjun, after scoring that go-ahead goal, is feeling good, and he's going to pursue this puck off into the corner and throw an actual legal check here in this game from the side. Shoulder contact, so good to see there, and nice play from Arjun. Vancouver back the other way. In 1-on-2, this player skips around the defender and still has it, shovels it towards the net, and a nice glove save from Sahaj. Then he bobbles it a little bit, but he does manage to cover it up. Here's Jackson Anderson with the puck behind the net. Puts it up to Jackson Mumm, who makes an ill-advised sojourn to the middle of the ice. Loses it to that Vancouver player who rips the shot, and I think that hits the crossbar off of Sahaj's shoulder. Play continues. Jackson Mumm now chasing it down the ice. Potential for a breakaway, but he bails on that and makes a change instead. And now Vancouver is going to give up the puck to Mack, who's coming off the bench. Tries to do a give and go there with Tyler, but it's eventually going to end up here on Mitchell's stick, who puts it back to Tyler, who walks in alone and gets a shot on the blocker side that is saved. So a lot happening there on that shift. Vancouver weeding their way into the offensive zone, whipping that shot on the net, and Sahaj fights that off with the blocker to make the save. Vancouver now with a point shot. It's going to go through to Sahaj. Save is made, but the rebound's there, and he gets that. Then he blocks the pass from going out front, so the player has to go to the other side. The player does get it through, and another block there from Mitchell, preventing that shot from getting through. Vancouver putting on some pressure, trying to get this game tied back up. Player coming in one-on-one, but played very well there by Bryson to prevent Vancouver from getting through to the net. So we're through to the third period. Colts clinging to a 1-goal lead. Knox retrieving the puck in the corner of his own end, and as he does, that Vancouver player slashes the stick out of his hand. So a slashing penalty to Vancouver, and the Colts are going to have an opportunity to go on to the power play. So here's Jackson Mumm with it deep in his own zone, makes a move around a forechecker, splits the D, and as he does, he gets tripped up. He was about to head through on a breakaway there. So a tripping penalty to Vancouver is going to put them down 5-on-3. The Colts have struggled at times this year with the 5-on-3 power play, but no time to struggle in this one. Right off the face-off, Bryson throws it towards the net, and it's neatly tipped by Noah and skips off the ice and up over the Vancouver goalie. And a timely power play goal here early in the third period has given the Colts a little breathing room to work with to bring this game home. And you know what helps you breathe better than a 2-goal lead? That's a 3-goal lead. Here's Vancouver turning it over in their offensive zone. Arjun's going to pick it up on the right, cut towards the middle, throw the puck on net. It's laying loose. 2 cracks at it by Jackson Davis, and eventually he's going to bang that rebound home. And the Colts have themselves a 3-goal lead here midway through the third period. The 3-goal lead seems pretty safe in this one, but the Colts are going to give Vancouver one more opportunity here as another penalty in the defensive zone right corner by the Colts. West giving that player a bit of a shove as they leapfrogged in to go get the loose puck in the corner. So power play for Vancouver. Plus the net is now empty, so it's a 6-on-4 for Vancouver trying to get back into this game. Throwing the puck towards the middle of the net. And there Seth has it. He's going to shoot for the empty net, but it's wide right. Power play does continue. Remains 6-on-4 with the goaltender out. Vancouver moving the puck neatly around, looking for seam passes that are going to create opportunities, and eventually a broken play here goes to this player, just throws it towards the net. Sahaj fights it off, and then it's off the post and over to a player on the right side who slides it home into the empty net. But as you can see, Vancouver not cheering very much because there's only a few seconds left in this game, and it is going to end as a 7-5 victory for the Colts. So let's have a look at the stats for the game. Big game there from Noah, 2 goals and an assist. Seth, Arjun, and Richard all also having a goal and assist in this game. So as we said earlier, 4-point series, that gives the Colts now 3 points in this series and just 1 point for the Vancouver Thunderbirds. All the Colts will need in their next game, which is a home game the following Monday, is a tie, and they will advance to the Final Four. Vancouver needing an outright victory there, and then it will all come down to Game 4 if that happens. So here we see the Colts taking the ice back in the Cloverdale Sport and Ice Complex for Game 3 of the series and an opportunity to send the Thunderbirds packing home and to move on to the Final Four. All they need is a tie. Victory also good, of course. Vancouver needing a win to prolong the series. So let's get right to the first period and see how this one goes. We're just a minute into this one. Colts putting some pressure on Vancouver in their zone. Forechecking down low along the right wall. This puck just gets thrown up to the point and it looks like it's going to be easy for Knox to handle, but it just slips away from him. And now he's chasing this Vancouver player over to the right side. Whips it on net and the rebound is right there to the player in front of the net who sweeps it past Sahaj. And the T-Birds, just about a minute and 15 into this game, have given themselves a 1-0 lead. T-Birds now breaking it out of their own zone. Going to go cross ice with this pass. And that player has a lot of ice there. And as he dumps it in, though, Noah comes across and tries to lay the body to him. And then the Vancouver player takes an extra shot while he's down on the ice. And so that's going to earn him a roughing penalty and give the Colts a power play to try to retie this game back up. Here's Nathan with the puck over to Leo. He's going to whip it over to Seth, who tries to throw it on net. And it goes right to Noah, whose first shot is blocked, but he gets the second one on net. And then Seth has a chance at the rebound, but that goes wide right. Here's Knox with the puck, trying to get a shot through. It does get through. Out to Tyler. He tries to dish it over to Knox, who had retreated back towards the point, so he can't reach it. And this Vancouver player is just going to throw it wildly up the ice, and that's going to catch the Colts unaware. And it's a 2-on-1 the other way, and just a shot from the left side. I'm not sure if Sahaj thought the pass was going to go across to a more dangerous play, but that shot is going to make its way through and into the net. Actually, on replay, when we're going to look at this, it's going to tip off of Nathan's leg and go up over Sahaj's shoulder. So a rough start from the Colts. Now the T-Birds are going to get an assist there from the linesman, who kicks that out inadvertently, of course, to the Vancouver player, who goes up ice with it and gets around the defender and shovels it on net. But a nice save from Sahaj to keep this one 2-0. Vancouver keeps coming, though, coming in waves, looking to create some space in this game, putting it over to the right side of the arena here, and that player just throws it towards the net, and it finds its way through. And somehow, some way, the T-Birds have jumped out to a 3-0 lead early in this game. The Colts look shell-shocked in how this game has started when having an opportunity to win the series here tonight. Vancouver seems to have come out definitely as the hungrier team. So the Colts have called a timeout here in the first period to try and collect themselves and get back in this game. Play back underway. Here's Orson in his own zone with the puck. Almost loses it to the Vancouver player there, and then he gets in a battle with it. Colts get the puck, but the play is going to continue up ice. Orson still engaged with that player down low, backwards. And then Leo's going to steal the puck and walk in with it. Shovel it just wide, but as he does, the Colts are going to end up with a power play off screen. It seems like number 9 was engaged with Orson there and is going to get a 4-minute penalty. Colts looking to put this nightmare first period behind them here with some power play opportunities late in the period. Nice pass from Nathan up to Jackson Mum, who walks in, wrists it up high. Probably had some space up there over the goalie's shoulder, but he catches it, and we head to the second period, 3-0 Vancouver. Colts power play is now over, and then both Colts players there are going to skate away from the puck, allowing Vancouver to get it. This player is going to go behind the net, has a lot of space there, tries to wrap around, but Sahaj comes quickly across and prevents that from going in. Colts are looking to create opportunities off the forecheck like they did in Game 2, but Arjun's going to get a little overeager as first he throws a hit there and then comes in for a second hit, but as you can see, his hands are up too high in the face area of the Vancouver player, so he's going to get 2 minutes for head contact. Power play again for Vancouver. And while they work it around, they're going to put it out to the point, draw the one defender out really high so they can go past him down low, and that creates a seam pass at the ring-out line, and they find the player on the right side who just whips it towards the net, and it's past Sahaj, and a power play goal by the T-Birds has stretched their lead to 4-0. The Colts have not packed it in, though. 2 T-Bird players run into each other, creating this opportunity for Mack right in front, throws in the backhand, and it's off the post and back out. and they can't get it past the goaltender off the rebound. Offensive zone draw now for the Colts after that play. And Jackson Mum's going to retrieve this puck behind the net and quickly put it front out to Jackson Anderson, who's all alone, and he can't quite get a shot off before the defender checks him. Vancouver back the other way, in on the left side, shot up high, off Sahaj, and out back to the Vancouver point. And that player is going to play around with it and lose it. Jackson Mum's going to strip it away, hit it on a breakaway, pull it to the backhand, and slide it past the goaltender. And the Colts are on the board and have some life in this game. It's now 4-1. Right off the next faceoff, Colts are fired up after getting on the board, but maybe too fired up as Mac's going to chase this puck down low, and then he's going to lay that player out before anybody had ever touched the puck. So that's a clear interference penalty here, and that's going to send Vancouver back to the power play and looking to get their lead back up to 4. Vancouver with an offensive zone draw and the power play. Puck gets put out to the point. They hold it in. Moving it over to the left side. Number 4 is going to walk in a little bit and throw it towards the net. Rebounds there. That player handles it for a second, then shovels it on net with the backhand, and eventually the Colts are able to clear it away after Sahaj makes a save. Power play does continue, though. Vancouver, number 4, slipping by the player in the neutral zone, putting it off to the right, and then it's going to be a hard pass back to him on the left, and he directs it on net, but Sahaj comes across and makes the big save there. So the Colts are able to kill off the penalty on the backs of a couple nice saves there from Sahaj, and then they're going to go back on the forecheck, looking to get back in this game. A nice hit there in the corner by Mac, but Vancouver turns it over after taking that hit, and they turn this into a 2-on-1 the other way, and that Vancouver player tips it just wide to the right. Colts are looking to turn up the physicality to get back in this game. There's some tough play there along the blue line. Now make sure the puck gets out. Now Jackson Mum has an ace, crosses the line, throws it towards the net. It's partially blocked. And then Jackson Davis is going to come in here and run that defender over and knock him down. So Colts looking to punish the Vancouver team and try to get back into this game. Here's a puck put back to the point. Bryson floats it towards the net, looking to tip it in front where the Colts, but it ends up down here in the corner. And when Vancouver tries to clear it, they clear it off of Seth's foot right to Leo in front. And he quickly whips the puck home up high. And a nice bounce in the Colts' favor has got them back into this game. It is 4-2. Vancouver looking to rebound. It's in the offensive corner for them, and Mac comes in, an awkward fall into the boards after his feet get tangled up with Orson. Puck out to the point, thrown towards the net. It's laying there loose in the crease, and Vancouver jams away at it and pokes it into the net, but the whistle had blown as the referee had called the play dead before the puck crossed the line, and he's going to come in there and wave this off, and so the Colts dodge a bullet there, and it remains 4-2. Puck gets wrapped around up the wall, chipped out by Jackson Davis, and Arjun has it. And he's going to head in, try to get through, and eventually it ends up back on Arjun's stick, and he sweeps it towards the net, but the goalie kicks it off to the corner. Colts continuing to forecheck. Jackson Davis and Arjun down there working along the wall. Jackson Davis retrieves it behind the net, throws it up front. It goes through Richard and out to the point where Nathan shoots it, and then it tips just off to the right, and Jackson Davis can't control it when he had an empty net there, but it's going to roll off too far back behind the goal line. Colts taking control of the game now. Here comes Tyler, gets through the defender, and it rolls just away from him, and he can't get it back before the puck runs into the goaltender. Play continues. Vancouver heading back the other direction, cutting towards the middle, but it's disrupted there by the defenders. And then it's going to get chipped up ice by Jackson Anderson up to Jackson Davis, who's coming down the left side. He throws it towards the net, and it looks like it deflects off the defender up over the shoulder of the Vancouver goaltender. And the Colts, once down 4-0 in this game, have scored 3 unanswered goals here in the second period, and we've got ourselves a game. It is now 4-3. And just like earlier in the game, when the Colts took a timeout to try and settle the game down, Vancouver is going to take a timeout of their own to try and settle the game down. But the Colts, you can just sense the energy on the bench here. They are flying, and they feel like they're ready to get back in this game. But it is late in the period, and so they're going to go to the ice cleaning in the third period, and we'll hope that doesn't disrupt the flow of the game here for the Colts. Here we are, early in the period. Ice still seems a little wet. As you can see, it's kind of shiny from the ice clean. Vancouver has a puck behind the net, batting it down, throwing it out front, and there's a player all alone to the right post, and he gets 3 whacks at it, and then another player comes in from the left side to poke it through Sahaj. So Lots of Colts defenders in the area, and they're unable to prevent that player from getting a multiple attempts at. There's one, there's a second one. Sahaj has both of those. It's laying there on the goal line, and it's right there between his legs, and that player comes in and gets just a tiny piece of it, and it slides across the line, and it's 5-3 for Vancouver. On the face-off after that goal, Vancouver has it, dumps it in, it skips off of Wes, he throws it in behind the net. Vancouver picks it up there and just throws it towards the net, and it catches Sahaj by surprise, and before he can get down into his reverse VH against the post, it sneaks through above the leg and off the hip and in. So the Colts, having used their timeout already, are going to do a goaltender change in an effort to stem the tide of play here and turn it back in their direction. And Nate's forced to get right into this game right off the hop. He has to make a nice low glove save there off that Vancouver player after he dragged it to the middle. Colts now with the puck in the neutral zone, dumping it in. Going to go in on the forecheck, but that Richard is held up as he's trying to go after it and chase it. So a Vancouver penalty and a Colts power play in an effort to get back in this game. And with the power play about to expire, you can see RJ heading off to the bench to get another defender on the ice, and then the puck is turned over right to Richard, who gets a shot there up high. It's saved, and then he throws it up front to Jackson Mum, who gets 2 cracks at sliding that puck in as well. Colts down by 3, time running out. They're trying hard to get pucks on net. Arson throws that there, and it bounces right out to Jackson Mum, who appears to have a whole bunch of net, but the Vancouver goalie dives across and makes one more save to salt this one away, and it's going to be a 6-3 loss for the Colts. We'll have a quick look at the stats from this game. Jackson Mum, Leo, and Jackson Davis, the goal scorers here in this game. Colts had a decent second half of the game, but were never really able to recover from getting down 3-0 early and ultimately down 4-0. As we've talked about, it's a 4-point series, and now each team has a victory and a tie, so each team has 3 points, and that sets up a winner-take-all Game 4 in Vancouver just 3 nights from this game. Here we see the Colts taking the ice for the final game of this series, Game 4. Each team tied with 3 points. It's taking place at Hillcrest Arena. Not the greatest of viewing angles at this arena for the camera, but we will do our best. Colts have the same lineup they've had the entire series. Sahaj getting the start in net. One small wrinkle, Lyndon Cameron is dressed. Unlikely to see action in this game though, unless the game is out of hand in either direction, which we don't anticipate given the close nature of the games in this series. This is winner take all to advance to the Final Four qualifying tournament for the provincials to qualify for the Pacific Coast Amateur Hockey Association. So if this game does end in a tie, we will see overtime to decide a winner. So with that, let's head to the first period. Vancouver with the first foray into the offensive zone in this game, crashing the front of the crease, piling bodies in there, banging away at it on the left post, but Sahaj is there to make the save, and the defenders are there to help clear it out. Vancouver dumping the puck in, Sahaj settling it behind the net for the defenders, but Nathan overskates it, and that Vancouver player has a lot of empty net as he comes out from behind, and as you can see, he's disgusted that he was unable to tuck that into the net. Here's Vancouver with a stretch pass up the ice. Player coming on the left side, takes a shot, Sahaj gloves it, and that's a save that's going to cause celebrations in the stands. Vancouver continues its dominating first period here in this game. They have the puck in the neutral zone, 1-on-3 here, but they're going to put that back pass, and that player walks in, gets a shot from the high slot. Nice save by Sahaj, and then there's the rebound, and that Vancouver player shovels it wide. Colts are looking for some sort of spark in this game to get going. Here's Bryson with the puck, shoveling it over to Jackson Mum, who throws it towards the net on a one-timer, but it's wide left. Face-off deep in the Colts zone. Clean win out to that player who just whips it towards the net, uncontested. It's through the 5-hole, it appears, and the T-Birds have got themselves a 1-0 lead here in the first period. Colts under siege in this first period, desperately looking for some offensive opportunities. Jackson Mum puts it up high. It's off the defender's glove. Jackson Anderson fights for it and shovels it on net. And that's just the Colts' second shot of this period as the clock winds down to 0. Getting outshot 10-1 in the first period and outscored 1-0. So they'll be happy to be done with that period and head to the second. At this point in the game, though, we lost some footage from the mid-ice camera, and the T-Birds are going to throw this puck from the corner towards the middle of the net, and that player in front is going to tip it past Sahaj. I know we can barely see it here from the Facebook feed through the mesh, but that is what happens, and it's now 2-0 for the T-Birds. This line with Jackson Anderson and Jackson Mumm continues to be the one that gets threatening opportunities for the Colts. First, Jackson Anderson has a shot on net, then Jackson Mumm has a rebound. He shovels that there, but it's saved by the Vancouver goalie. Colts finally get a bounce their way to help them out in this game. There's a nice forecheck by Richard there, and then he just throws it towards the net, and it looks like it's probably going wide, and the Vancouver goalie turns his paddle over and drags the puck back into the net. The Colts will be happy to have a puck bounce their way and cut this lead in half. Colts now finding some life in their legs after 2 consecutive slow starts in the last couple games. There's a shot by Leo, whipped just wide to the right. Puck comes out to the neutral zone. Colts are going to check it and pick it back up. And here comes Leo again. And rather than shooting, this time he's going to pass it over to Seth, and it skips just over his stick. It was a bit of a hot pass, but it goes through. Now watching the left side of the screen there, that Vancouver player is going to flick this Colts player's stick up in the air. And so that's going to get caught by the referee, and he's going to call this play dead. And he's going to send a Vancouver T-Birds player to the penalty box, 2 minutes for slashing. And the Colts are going to get a power play opportunity looking to tie this game. Here's Nathan whipping the puck up to Leo, who's just been flying in this second period here. He holds up in the corner, throws it out high. Jackson Davis can't handle it at first, collects it, throws it towards the net. It slips past the goalie laying in the crease, and Leo comes in from the corner and taps it home. And the Colts have a power play goal and a 2-2 tie here in game number 4. Colts are rolling now. The second period is winding down. Colts on the rush. Here comes Jackson Anderson. He's going to put that puck up to Jackson Mumm. So it's a 2-on-0 here. Jackson Mumm across to Jackson Anderson, and he can't make contact with that to tap it in. Jackson Anderson gets the puck back. He walks in, tries to go 5-hole. And then as Arjun is inspecting the situation, looking for a rebound, he's just standing there, and the Vancouver player foolishly comes in late and knocks him down. And so that's going to be 2 minutes for roughing, and a golden opportunity here at the end of the second period for the Colts to get their first lead in this game. So here they are, Seth coming down the right side, bowling through, and Noah has it there, and he shovels it towards the net, but gets turned aside by the Vancouver goalie. So that power play is ultimately unsuccessful, and we go to the third period. Tie game. Looking like one of those types of games where next goal wins. And here's a turnover, and walking in is Mac, and he shovels it on net. Then a rebound for Libby, and he gets 2 cracks at that. The second one that just goes wide. Puck's behind the net. Mac has it, throws it towards the net, and it's bouncing around again. Out to Knox at the point, throws that towards the point, towards the front of the net, and Libby tries another attempt at a tip, but all of those stay out. Vancouver on the rush now. You can see Vancouver changing one of their players. Puck ends up down low, back behind the net. Colts seem to have all their assignments, but watch that Vancouver player who came in late off the bench. He just swoops down unchecked and pots the pass from behind the net up high past Sahaj, and Vancouver has a 3-2 lead. Still 14 minutes to play though, lots of time left for the Colts. Vancouver on the rush again, pulling the puck to the middle, 3 of them there, shoveling it towards the net, and Sahaj slides across and uses the blocker to turn that one aside. Here comes Mac picking up the puck in the neutral zone. He's going to drive to the right with it, hold on to it, throw the puck on net, and then go for the rebound. It's laying there. He shovels that on net as well. Another save. And then coming in late is Jackson Davis, and he shovels that towards the net. But again, it can't get through the fog of bodies in front. Vancouver dumping it in. Knox going to chase it down low behind the net. Gets knocked down. And that's going to entice all the Vancouver players to come in low. And that's going to leave Tyler all alone behind them. Nice pass from Nathan. He's onside, dekes to the forehand, and it's off the goaltender and wide. A golden opportunity there for the Colts to tie this one up. Just seconds left in the game now. Colts having 6 skaters on the ice, frantically throwing everything at the ice. The puck is loose in front a few times. Noah has a chance. He swings at it. He can't make contact. And eventually the clock is going to run down to 0. And the Vancouver T-Birds are going to win this series 5-3. So a close 3-2 loss here in Game 4 of this series, similar to Game 3 where the Colts got down early and just couldn't fight their way all the way back. A valiant effort here in Game 4, had some opportunities to tie the game and send it to overtime, but instead they are going to be out of the running for the provincials. Let's have a look at the stats for this game. Richard and Leo getting the goals. It was a very tight checking game. The shots just 23-20 in favor of the Colts, so a very low event contest here in Game 4. Let's have a look at the stats for the series. You see that Seth, Leo, Noah line that's been so strong at the end of the regular season continued their strong play here in the playoffs. And lastly, let's have a look at the full season stats now. Jackson Mum still at the top of the table by 1 point there. Jackson Anderson and Seth now tied for the team lead in goals at 20. So after a hard-fought series with some ups and downs, the T-Birds are going to move on to the Final Four. And during that, they are going to win that as well and head off to the provincials. And here we see them Wednesday, March 18th in the bronze medal game as the time clicks off the clock, and they are going to win the bronze medal game 8-6, capturing bronze at the provincials up in Fort St. John this past weekend. Let's have a quick look at how that tournament went. They beat Nanaimo in their first game 9-2. Nanaimo's a team that the Colts beat 3-2 when they played them over in Comox early in the season in a tournament there. Their second game was another victory, a 6-5 win over Omaha Central. That's not a team that the Colts had played this year. There you see the Chilliwack team losing 4-0 in their second game. And then for game number 3, they got a third win. So 3 wins in the round robin, a 3-1 win over East Kootenay. Chilliwack going down 4-1 in their game, so they did not make the playoffs at the provincials. So then on the last day of the tournament, the semifinals and the bronze and gold all happened on that same day. You see Vancouver losing their semifinal to the Northeast team 3-2, so being forced to go off, play the Omaha Thompson team in the bronze medal game and winning that game 8-6. That Omaha Thompson team is a team the Colts beat 4-3 over in the Comox tournament at the beginning of the year. And the Colts are off to the President's Series against the other top teams that didn't make the Final Four, so they have one more chance at some playoff wins, and we'll be there for those games. See you then.